Yo, what's happening, world? Name's Raheem Flowers. I've been meaning to make this video now for like the past 2-3 days, and I want to share a few things with you guys. Number one, I want to share my experiences with the master number in numerology known as 11, and number two, I also want to just speak about my experiences growing up in Chicago and just me growing up with all these schools of thoughts and just looking at things from a social economic standpoint in terms of being around people of affluent neighborhoods or people that are from the hood, etc. Alright, I'm gonna start with the numerology thing. Now, with 11, you know, basically every significant point in my life, 11 blatantly or indirectly plays a role. From me graduating high school in 2011, from me starting this journey off when it comes to music and expanded on other endeavors, which started in the 11th grade. I became a producer at the 11th month of the year, November. In addition to that, I also conceived an idea for a website that I'm working on November, which is the 11th month in 2016. And it was the 11th day of the 11th month when I became producer. And, you know, as I said in a previous video early in the beginning of this year, maneuvering through the digital age, I said fuck knowledge at 11, and that was pretty much the prelude of it all to me. So yeah, pretty significant role. And going through all these schools of thoughts and being around people of different backgrounds and upbringings, financially and, you know, mentally, spiritually, the whole nine. Like, a lot of people didn't get to live that exceptional life that I lived. That I also moved a lot growing up, you know? And even though I went through a lot of hardships, it made me a very strong individual. I know what it's like being in an affluent neighborhood where I was shunned down at the age of 5 back in 1997. But I also know what it's like to be in a school with hood cats and, you know, a lot of gangbangers, man. I went to school with a lot of four-corner hustlers and vice lords, a few GDs and BDs, and, you know, a few Black P Stones, etc. And it's just, sometimes I do find myself venting and ranting about things that I go through and how I went through certain shortcomings and going oh man. And the funny thing is, going back to 11, 2017 was arguably the hardest year for me, spiritually and mentally, because that was when, you know, one of my best friends was like a brother to me and who I miss. Like, words can't even describe how much I miss that man, because we've been friends since the 11th grade. But 2017 and 2006 is when my whole life just turned around. In 2017, it was 11 years later after 2006. And, you know, it made me a stronger person though. So it was a bittersweet experience. And going back to 11 again, it pertains to an enlightenment. Now, if you look at the biblical references, they'll say that it has to do with being chaotic, with being imperfect, you know, pretty much something that creates some sort of premonition, I guess you can say. But then you have the other side, so there's like a duality between the two. So it's a matter of perspective / interpretation. And, you know, I was getting comfortable, and I thought about that when I was talking to my lady, and there's certain things that she said to me. Within my mindset, I was and there's nothing wrong with being happy, but I was being complacent. I was getting complacent. And that, like my homie said, that comfort is the enemy of success. And I can't go like that. I'll make myself a sitting duck if I get too comfortable. So, yeah, there's that. So, shout out to my British homie Hayes overseas. Shout out to Brother Kel and other YouTubers that I've been watching periodically, or rather consistently, since 2018. Shout out to every last one of you guys who have been keeping my mind sharp and sharpening that steel so I can go extra hard. So, that being said, I'm out, everybody. Peace.